Are you thinking about transitioning from a staging business to a full-service interior design firm? Stick around. Hey there, and welcome to Design by Wingnut Social. I'm your host, Darla Powell. I am the head Wingnut of Wingnut Social, a digital marketing agency for home pros. And today we are joined by Katie Labourdette-Martinez and Olivia Wahler of Hearth Homes Interiors. And man, did they do a thing. They had a whole firm that was about the interior staging for homes for realtors, to buy and sell homes and that kind of thing. And they decided, you know what? Let's just change our whole business model and do a full service interior design firm. What led to that transition? Why? Are they doing better? Is there more money? What the hell? What's going on? What's going on, ladies? Well, without further ado, let's get into my conversation with Katie and Olivia now. Hey there, Katie and Olivia. Welcome to the show. How the hell are you?
Good. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have you today. We're talking about transitioning from being a staging design or a decorating firm to a full service interior design firm. And that's something I don't think we've discussed before on the show. So I'm super, super excited. Before we dig into our conversation, tell the audience really quickly who you are and what you do, and we'll get going.
Go ahead. You want to go ahead?
All right. Yeah. Hi, I'm Olivia. And this is
I'm
Katie.
Are you on the witness protection program?
You don't already know. I'm Katie.
We are interior designers in Santa Barbara, California.
And your firm is Hearth Homes Interiors, correct?
Yes, exactly.
All right, cool. All right, awesome. So you guys started as pure stagers? Tell us a little bit about that journey. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. So our business initially started as we did some flipping of houses, and we were a staging firm. Naturally, I think our staging sort of led into people inquiring about interior design. So for a few years, we were kind of trying to juggle it all. We were flipping, we were staging, and we were taking on some design clients here and there. And it just has naturally grown from there. The flipping industry in Santa Barbara is just a really hard industry to be in. It's very expensive here. So, our business has just kind of morphed into this whole new thing over the last year or so.
Was it more of an organic transition where clients were saying, hey, while you're staging my house, can you design my new house? That kind of thing. Tell us a little about how that happened, Katie.
There's a lot behind that. We would stage homes. And sometimes the sellers of the homes wanted us to help them design their new home because they were impressed with how we could reimagine their space in just a way that they hadn't thought about it before and how it felt a little bit more functional. And then there would be real estate agents that would come through the homes. They would see the work and then they would tell their clients about it. Sometimes they would just ask for our contact information if we didn't already know them. And they would, if they had a client that was buying a house that maybe needed either new furniture or a kitchen remodel or just, paint and cosmetic stuff, they would ask and we would
deliver.
What?
And we would deliver.
And we would deliver, yeah.
We couldn't say
Ask
no
and
for
deliver.
a long time. We were, yes, we are.
How long were you guys doing the staging gig before you decided to transition to the interior design firm model?
So, we've been in business since 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We were staging all the way up until a couple months ago. This is a pretty new switch for us, but we have taken design clients here and there for the last probably three years. Yeah.
The reason I ask that is because, a lot of people are laser focused and on when they're stagers, like, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to do staging. That's my business model. Mm-hmm. If someone wants interior design, I'll refer them out to another interior designer. So I'm wondering if when you started the staging business, if in the back of your mind, you always envisioned maybe eventually transitioning to doing the full service interior design firm, or what was it in particular that made you switch that business model? And I heard you, Olivia, say that we're still doing some staging, or we just stopped doing staging. What?
Yeah,
are you not doing the staging at all now?
No, we are all done with
Okay,
staging
cool.
now.
So talk about that. What's going on there?
I mean, it's obviously a very, our business model has always been multifaceted. We in the beginning, I think Katie and I both have always loved interior design. It's always been a huge passion of ours, and we liked to lead with that in our staging projects. We didn't want houses to feel stale or, contrived, or we wanted it to feel organic and well designed. That was always our goal when we were staging homes.
And sorry, just to butt in for a second. When we were buying houses with our significant others in town, when we were kind of starting to toy around with what's next for us, in terms of starting this company, we got to see a lot of the staging that was around town, and we have strong opinions sometimes. And
Go ahead and say it was crap.
It was horrible.
There was just and you could tell different brand aesthetics.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we felt like we could bring something new to the table and refresh the space. And when we decide to do something, we go all in.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like, we're doing this.
Yeah. So
sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're totally fine.
You're so rude. You're so rude,
so
Katie.
rude.
Sorry. Just wait till I burp in the middle of talking.
So I would say yes, it was always kind of in the back of our minds. It was a terrifying thing to think about, though. I think when you think about taking somebody's home and their finances into your hands and literally creating their entire, the foundation of their lives, it's stressful, it's scary. Yeah. So I think we needed a couple years to sort of build our confidence and really, dive all into the design. The big shift, though, really happened. One of our beloved team members, her name was Nina. She's really,
our right arm.
Yeah, she was my right hand, my right arm, my right leg. She was amazing. She ended up moving to Mexico, and she was really heading up our staging company. And when she came to us and let us know that she was going to be leaving, it forced us to kind of sit back and think, okay, what does the future of our company look like? Where do we want to be? And how can we really put our brains, heads, put everything together to figure out how to grow this company, and that for us meant dropping staging and moving into design.
So that was kind of meant to be, right? That was kind of a move of opportunity for you. Losing that, it kind of forced your hand to really just better get off the pot if that's something you wanted to do, right, the whole time. So which do you prefer more, the full service interior design or the staging? Which has more reward for you?
I think both have a fun reward. Staging is a little more instant gratification, and as challenging as going into a home and working with a lot of their stuff, it's really fun to see how we can reimagine. It's really hard to do that. We don't prefer to do that when it comes to staging. We prefer to have a clean slate and come in because we know our inventory and what works. And it can be really challenging with spatial planning and stuff like that, with clients' own furniture. But we have that instant gratification with staging, and renovations are just, I just love them. They're just so fun to come up with a concept, and really just, I love the smell of fresh cut wood. So getting down to the studs, it's just so fun to see.
That's very
everything.
Specific, Katie.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
My dad was a contractor, so I'm very used to that smell.
I started a whole design firm so I could smell fresh cut.
Yeah. So I could just rip houses down to the studs, just rebuild them.
Wake up and smell the wood.
Yeah, wake up and smell the wood.
That sounds like the new tagline for Hearth Homes.
Hearth Homes. I think so.
Wake up and smell the wood. Hearth Homes Interiors. Okay, because when I was doing full service interior design, I had Darla Interiors in Miami, Florida. I'm thinking, I know what a complex business model it is to do a full service interior design firm. And in my mind, having never done staging, that to me seems like a lot less headache. Am I right? Am I wrong?
Oh my gosh. We were trying to focus on way too much.
Yeah.
We had way too much going on when we were doing staging. So I think
we were, I think, pretty strategic where when it was just us two and we hadn't built out our team yet, we were trying to be our own assistants. We were trying to be the movers. We were trying to be like the designers. It was just a lot. And we learned how to, I think, delegate a little bit.
Okay,
And
good.
we grew our team a little bit. And then we kind of, Olivia started heading staging and I started heading interior design. And then once Nina left, we were like, okay, we're kind of forced to make this decision, but we sat down and decided to do it strategically. And I think that the staging part of it has its own headaches. It's
Okay.
very customer service driven.
I would think it's very goals driven too, because if the house doesn't sell for some reason, that's an extra burden that could or could not be placed on the staging. I would think. I can't imagine you guys would have any issues, but I'm really curious. I guess what I'm really trying to drive at here is because, like I said, Olivia said that you're not doing the staging anymore. What led to that decision of just not doing the staging at all and moving to a full service interior design firm and all the headaches that brings?
Like we said, when Nina left, it kind of made us sit back and take a look at our company from a holistic standpoint. We previously, when we were doing staging, our focus was really divided. Anytime a staging job would come up, we kind of had to drop everything else that we had going on to be all hands on deck to get this house staged. And it was just logistically really tough. And I think I was at that point just really burnt out. And the thought of finding somebody else to take Nina's place and
We're never going to find another Nina.
No.
So
No.
Nina
Staging.
was really that
She
critical.
was really critical. Yeah.
Oh,
And the
we've
staging-
cried a lot
Yeah,
recently
it was-
with her being so far away in Mexico.
I grew up with, I went to high school with her, and so she was a really good friend of mine. But yeah, so when she left, it wasn't that her leaving was really the deciding factor that for us to stop staging, but we wanted to figure out where we all saw our company going in the future in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. And really, we wanted to focus on the design because from a logistical standpoint, we wouldn't have to have all the inventory. We wouldn't have to have a huge warehouse space. We would be able to grow our team with a more focused mindset and not have all these different roles that were just kind of, bleeding together because we are a tight-knit team. So it made sense for us. And in the growth of our company, we do have now these short-term vacation rentals, long-term vacation rentals, and we wanted to focus our energy into our design so that we could help design those short-term rentals, and it all kind of like goes together.
We have quarterly partner meetings where we kind of sit down and strategize, talking about, finances, goal setting, strategies for the company, and staging kind of just started to show itself as a distraction instead of a step towards the goals that we're trying to meet next year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road. It kept showing itself as a distraction. And we wanted to take steps that not only worked well for the business, but were positive for us and our family, because our company, our brand is always about family first.
And that's important, right? What makes you happy as well as business owners if you're going to put that much sweat, blood, and tears into it.
Yeah,
Lots.
we started this company to have a brand and a company to work for, which we felt like was missing for us. We all left the corporate world because we weren't working for places that were brands, and we created the company we wanted to work for.
Yeah.
So
Which one? I know you haven't not been doing staging, a double negative there for long, but which one is more lucrative so far, do you think? Or do you know?
I think
We
staging
do.
kind of has for us it had a cap. We only have so much warehouse space. We only have, we couldn't stage an endless amount of homes, I think, and especially in the slower months and with COVID and all, it was really unpredictable.
Okay.
The market here was really high for a long time. And then now it's sort of settled down a bit, and we had to rely on the market more with staging and with design. I think for us, there's a lot more potential to make more money.
yeah. And I mean, to be honest, where we live is a very affluent area.
Okay.
Santa Barbara, when it is affected by the market, it's not such high swings and such low lows as it is in other places in the United States. So it does affect our company, but I don't think it affects our company quite to the degree of other places around the United States.
That's important, especially as we're facing maybe a possible economic downturn. And interior design is, and I'm holding up for those watching on the YouTube channel, finger quotes, a recession-proof business because it's a luxury service, right?
Right.
But I think that it does depend a lot on where you live. And I think Santa Barbara is a great place for that.
I mean, there's pros and cons to it. It is a very expensive place to live.
Yeah.
So it can be really tough. But I think that the market with selling homes, that kind of caps what you can do with staging. But to be honest, there really is money here for interior design and in the surrounding areas around Santa Barbara.
Yeah. And that's true across the country, depending on where you're at. Again,
exactly.
Because it is a recession proof kind of thing. The people who could afford you are still going to be able to afford you. So that's the good news there. Yeah. So what advice would you give new designers or, decorators going into the industry who are thinking about, hey, maybe I'll do staging, maybe I'll do interior design. I'm not quite sure which. What advice would you give? We'll start with you, Olivia.
It's easy to say, just to do what makes you happy. For us, I think
it's a lot easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not always the right advice too.
Yeah, no, I know. And with staging, I mean, there's so much that goes into it logistically. And yes, it is a service that is very necessary, especially for the real estate market. But I think you just have to be prepared for people to think that you are designing their house, like as an interior designer. Everybody has opinions. People who have lived in their homes for 20 years, it's hard for them to see it look a different way. Yeah. And so you really have to be prepared for those opinions. With design, these people come to you for a change. They want to make a change to their space.
Or their real estate agent has explained to them they need to have a change. And so they still might be resistant to it.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense, right? So for the interior design firm, you have a lot more creative control, right? It seems like, because I remember when I was first starting out doing the interior design, I would do some staging consultations, and I was always the bad guy. Always the bad guy for the realtor. I'd have to say, okay, because I was telling people in the nicest way possible, all their little personal identifying things need to come down out of the house, and they took it they didn't like it. It was always a little bit of it. Yeah, right.
Their owner specific style, personal items. Yeah, it's not for everybody, though it might be really cool and perfect for their home. It's not for everyone.
If you've been listening to the show for a while, then you are probably aware that Wingnut Social is a digital marketing agency for the interior design industry. We do full service social media marketing, search engine optimization, and all of that good stuff. And we do a damn good job, if I do say so myself. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to Ann Gilliard of Grow Playrooms.
I would so highly recommend Wingnut, and here are several reasons why, and not to mention just the followers that we gained, which, by the way, was like 3,000 to 37,000 in a matter of months. But they are responsive to every tiny little question that I have. They are so knowledgeable about everything that I might need knowledge about, and they've also taken away the fact that I need to know anything about it, which is probably the best part. And they have taken over different aspects of Instagram for us, from commenting to doing the DMs, and it's just decreased the amount of time that I've needed to be involved, and I know that it's in really good hands. They also got our voice super fast. So all in all, just treats to work with, and I would do it 1,000 times over.
Thank you so much, Anne. We have loved working with you and Grow Playrooms, and everything that you're doing over there has been amazing, and we appreciate you so much. So if you're interested in finding out more about our services here at Wingnut Social, give us a call at 786-206-4331 or hit that website up, wingnutsocial.com, and click that little Let's Chat button, and let's see how we can work together to take your business from meh to amazing. for those designers who maybe aren't aware or just getting into the industry or who don't have any experience with staging, how does it differentiate from traditional interior design? Just so we can nail that home, and then I'll have another question for you.
The big thing with staging is that it has to appeal to the masses.
Yeah.
While we did like to look at it more as a more carefully curated design job, it was, at the base of it, it was meant to be visually appealing to the most amount of people possible. With design, you can be more specific to the owner, to the person who's going to live in the space, and you can kind of, give a different sort of flair to it than you would with
Can
staging.
get a little more funky and fun.
Yeah.
I could see where as creatives that would be a lot more fulfilling and rewarding.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And you're not the bad guy.
And designing a house for a family to actually live in is so gratifying. To design it to their lifestyle and really create a space that is going to comfort them and make them happy. That, to me, at least, is the most. You can't replace that feeling. With staging, it's obviously just a little bit less personal.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is a different business model, and I imagine there's different standard operating procedures, different workflows. How did you guys build that? Was that just from the interior design jobs you were doing sporadically while you were staging, or did you reach out to a business coach or something to set that up, or was it just from experience?
We're still actually trying to find a business coach. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, I have a couple good ones. Let's talk after the show.
Yeah, that would be great. That is something that I feel like it's like finding a therapist, finding a business coach, finding a mentor. Those are so tough, but
I have a couple excellent recommendations that have been on the show.
Amazing.
Katie McFarland one who's on the show.
I just listened to that episode. She was great.
Terrific. Desi Cresswell, who's also been on the show, is terrific. It just really depends on who you align with, right? And I can think of a couple more. I'll send you afterwards, I think. But they're friends of the show, and they're excellent. I only hear good things from them, from their clients. And we have quite a few Wingnut clients who are clients of theirs as well.
Oh, cool.
So we get good feedback there. So free plug, guys.
Nice.
All right. So now something that you guys are doing with your interior design firm is you're kind of aiming into a niche on hospitality, or at least as a subcategory in your interior design. So talk us through that. What's going on with the hospitality sitch?
I think it all just centers around the idea of family.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where it stemmed from.
Right.
Okay.
We, like I mentioned before, we were flipping houses previously. With the pandemic and the market going crazy, it just became too much of a risk for us. And so we decided to refocus on, we live in this beautiful place that people love to come visit. And it's such a huge vacation spot for families. And we wanted to create spaces where families could come and enjoy our beautiful city together, not just in a hotel. And we really wanted to focus on giving them that sort of 5-star experience without the actual hotel experience.
I think part of that too is we veered away from flipping because we have a very high standard for ourselves and our products that we put out there. You need to create compromises when you're flipping, and we are just not okay with that. And so when we can design our own spaces for people, for our clients, and for families, for our vacation rentals, we get to make sure things are done to our standard. And then we can also have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, flex our creative muscles.
Yeah, try new things and annoy our painters and fabricators.
Oh yeah, I was very annoying to my subs. Very, very annoying. Okay, so and here's a little secret. I was holding this until now that you guys are actually semi-related. You guys are in-laws.
Oh, hello.
So how do you ever get sick of each other? Do you ever want to just kill each other?
I think maybe in the beginning when we were kind of learning our
figure
work
our shit
styles.
out. Yeah, definitely.
But no, I mean, I'm going to say this again. I've probably already said it 50 times, but like families first. So I mean, honestly though, at the end of the day, like she goes home to her home and I go home to my home. I think, but
we don't have sleepovers every night.
No.
Well, that would be just weird.
Vacations. Yeah. Vacations are always together if we take time off. it's
Oh, that's
usually
cool.
together. It is a little.
So would you
different.
say you guys are best friends or really good friends as well as in-laws? Sisters-in-law, right?
Yeah, we definitely same but different.
Yeah.
We enjoy each other.
We do hang out on our free time if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Like we're like, are we gonna go bowling this weekend, or let's
That's
take the
cool.
kids
That's
to
important.
zoo lights?
Yeah.
So,
It definitely
That's
does. I mean,
important.
working with family definitely has its challenges, but I will also say that it's not just us. My brother and her husband also work with us.
yeah, I never get a break from him.
Yeah. So
He doesn't have a different home to go to. We're always together.
So sorry.
so-
All right, guy. Is there anything I've forgotten to ask you on the subject of having a staging firm versus a full service interior design firm that I forgot to ask you, or any additional advice you'd like to give the emerging designer or veteran designers there, or kicking around any of this?
For staging, some advice is you really need to be able to plan out your finances, because having inventory, storing that inventory can get really expensive. And
Yeah.
it is a business where a lot of times people are just breaking even, because as you start to do well, more people want to hire you. So you need more inventory. So you need more
Wow.
space. And it's just like this endless cycle. And you have to be very strategic if you want to make that a profitable business.
And with your pricing, right? You have to price yourself.
Depending on how the market's doing, is it,
Yeah.
a great time of year, are people buying homes and stuff and you can raise your prices? Or, is it tougher? So
yeah.
there's just a lot that goes into it. And I think if you're
Yeah.
going to start staging, you really need to sit down and have a plan.
Yeah. I would agree.
So, I mean, going in and offering, maybe like dipping your toes in the water by like redesigning existing spaces and freshening up what people already have.
How do you feel about just consultations? Maybe just going in and giving like an hour consultation of this is what you should do to get your house sellable. Give me my check. Goodbye.
Yeah, exactly. And you're getting those like practice with the sales pitch too, and you're getting
Yeah.
used to talking to different types of personalities. And maybe you're there just because a real estate agent wants you to talk, but the owner is very anti, but they're just offering to talk to you. So you're getting good practice no matter what.
Do you have to have inventory to be a stager? Is there like some kind of mass central rental kind of hub?
I think there is a business model where people the stagers rent their furniture, but for us, we felt like we're control freaks by nature. We didn't have the control
getting
so
that.
much with that.
I am a Capricorn, so I am the most.
Yes, you are.
Yes, she is.
I at least now in my 30s, I can accept it.
And
And
listen, admitting it is half the battle, right?
Yeah,
Olivia, what
yeah.
sign are you? I need to know now.
I'm a Pisces.
Oh, Pisces. So
Yeah.
which
very
funny,
private.
Capricorns
Yeah.
and Pisces usually, maybe that's why it was, I don't want to say tough, but we had like moments where we were really learning to work together.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
Pisces are very private, but they are very emotional, but but you wouldn't know it.
Well, you know it.
But you know it.
Until you do, until they let you know it, right?
Yeah.
I'm
would say I
fascinated with that. Sorry.
definitely- Yeah, I keep my friends who are in the inner circle are constantly on my emotional roller coaster with me.
I know I've known quite a few Pisces in my life. Never dated any though. Thank goodness. No, just kidding. Olivia, do you have any last words of advice for interior designers who are in this storm of, do I do staging? Do I do interior design? Maybe do I do both?
Yeah, don't do both.
Don't do both. I don't recommend that. Unless you really cap the amount of interior design work that you do or staging.
Yeah.
As long as you have a plan.
Yeah.
I agree.
think-
Pick a lane.
Yeah, pick a lane. I think for us, especially in the last year or so, the word of the year has been focus for us.
Perfect.
When we were doing everything, staging, design, vacation rentals, it was just way too much. Our focus was not, we weren't able to focus on anything because we had too many things that we were supposed to be working on. So I think whether you're trying to decide if you want to be a stager or a designer or possibly both, I think the biggest thing for me at least has been make sure you have something that you can really focus on. Make sure you have the time and the resources to focus on that to be able to grow your business in the way that you want to grow it. I will also say with design, managing clients is definitely a big part of our company and a big part of your business as a designer. So make sure as a designer that you set boundaries, set expectations early on, make sure that your client is on the same page with you and understands when you can communicate, how you can communicate, what those sort of boundaries are. For us, we work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We don't respond to text messages on the weekends. We don't take calls after 5 p.m. It's just you need to be able to create that work-life balance, or else your clients are going to think that they can just constantly be texting and calling you. And we learned that the hard way.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And they'll try you. They'll try you. They want it. They're like little kids.
will.
They'll try you
Yeah.
to see what they can get away with in the beginning. So it's so important.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that
Absolutely.
advice.
Yeah.
So now, Katie and Olivia, I have to ask you, are you ready for the What Up Wingnut round?
Oh, yes.
All right. Decide amongst yourselves who wants to go first. The first question is, what would the hashtag on your tombstone be?
Go ahead.
Mine would be I'll live a little. My nickname is Olive, and I like to seize the moment in my life. So I'll live a little.
Live a little.
Nice. Very cute. Katie.
Hashtag.
Well, wait, what were we saying before the episode?
You like napping.
Well, I was going to say what my, because I know that you asked these questions, what my answer was going to be was hashtag napping. I love a nap. I barely get them, but I love a nap. But we were saying something funny
like
before.
that one.
But yeah.
There's no shame in
Hashtag
that.
napping.
Napping.
And it's like, is she in there? Is she not?
Hashtag dirt nap. You're stuck on a deserted island, but you can have one food forever. What's it going to be, Olivia?
Oh,
Say it.
I was gonna hashtag it, but nope, not hashtag. Wine. I would say probably wine. That's grapes, right? Grapes.
That's right.
food.
It's basically a salad.
Yeah.
Katie, what's yours?
I'm going to be so boring, but I honestly really do love a salad. I like just a big old bowl full of veggies. I know her
Yeah,
face.
listen.
She's like rolling her eyes. I know.
I'll be like, Katie, what are you craving? She's like, I want vegetables.
I love vegetables.
I wish I craved
Yes,
vegetables.
right?
I would
Same.
I would be 40 pounds lighter if I craved vegetables.
Same girl.
I mean, I also love chocolate and donuts and French fries and all that. But
well,
like,
okay, good. You've
Yeah.
restored my faith.
but I love a vegetable.
Please recommend a book that has impacted you either personally or professionally, Olivia.
Kristen Hanna, Night Road, I think is my all-time favorite book.
Okay, why?
Being a family person it's at the core of who I am. I love my family. I love my people. And that book just really, it got me good. It was really emotional. But the story was really beautiful. It was really, really,
There's those
really
Pisces emotions, see?
Oh yeah. Of course, that's me. Here I am.
Capricorn Katie, what's yours?
Capricorn Katie, I like that. Actually, that would be a good hashtag for my tombstone because it
Too
would
late.
explain who
Too
I
late,
am.
you're dirt napping. What's your book?
Dirt napping. The Alice Network. It's just a bunch of badass women that I just can't imagine. I can't. It was amazing. It's an amazing story.
I have one bonus fire round question because recently we had Paul and Susan Cadillac guest host the show. And they did a great job. Thank you again, guys, for that when I was out with some medical situations. And Paul asked, his bonus question on the fire round was, if you could choose one word to describe your interior design firm, what would it be?
Family.
Yeah, family.
Love it. Thank you, ladies, for joining us. We really
Thank you
appreciate
so
it.
much.
And please tell the audience where they can go to find out more about you and Hearth Homes, and we'll call it a day.
Yeah, you can go to our website at hearthhomes.com. And then our Instagram is just at Hearth Homes Interiors.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. You've been a great guest.
Thank you for
so
having
much.
us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciated you telling us your journey, and that's not a small thing, right? To pivot in that direction, and it does seem like with Nina retiring or from your firm, at least, and moving to Mexico, that your hand was forced, but in a good way. It's so funny how the universe will put those opportunities in our way. I'm a firm believer that everything that's meant to be is meant to be. It happens. You know what I mean? I did not say that very well, but I think you know where I was going with that. So thank you so much for joining us. So if you're out there and you have a staging firm, or if you have an interior design firm and you're thinking of pivoting one way or the other, I do hope that this episode was helpful. If you wouldn't mind leaving us a lovely, juicy, fat review on whatever the hell you're listening to this podcast on, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps us out and helps interior designers and such find us and helps them with their business. So I love it. If you aren't on YouTube, if you haven't watched our shows on YouTube designed by Wingnut Social, you're missing out a little bit, because it's one thing to hear us be crazy and informative. It's another thing to see it. So again, that's designed by Wingnut Social over on YouTube. Go run, don't walk. Subscribe to that. Tell your friends. What the hell, tell your enemies. And that is it for this week. Remember to check out wingnutsocial.com if you need help with digital marketing for your home pro business, your interior design or architect business, or if you're to the trade home furnishing manufacturer. We do all of that. If you want anything from this episode, any notes, any little tidbits, or the book recommendations, that will be in the show notes over at wingnutsocial.com as well. All right, that's it for this Wednesday's episode. Remember, until next time, to get out there, get uncomfortable, and be great. And we're talking about transitioning from being a interior design staging firm. I guess, let me restate that. Sorry. I'm going to start that whole thing over again.
Okay.
This is why I have producers. And with your pricing, right? You have to price yourself.
And pricing can fluctuate depending on
pricing. The Alice Network. Who's the author?
Who? Google.
We'll Google.
We'll Google that.
Perfect. Simple and easily. Are you thinking about diarrhea? I don't know why I'm short of breath today. I'm probably just dying. It's probably just going to be a heart attack. It's nothing to worry about. Are you thinking of transitioning from your butt to your elbow?